Hello and welcome to Darius Comic School, and today I show you a double page spread I have drawn yesterday. And the reason I was drawing it, I mean, I want to do comics, I want to get pages out. It's not one of my best pages, but it's also not one of my worst pages. And the philosophy, I would say, of being an indie comic artist or of becoming a good comic artist is like putting in the hours, the reps and sets, similar to the gym or to other practices. And I will show you other pages and the philosophy and stuff I've written down and how everything came to be, and also the tools I used, and how crude my layouts sometimes look. So let me show you the page, and then we'll get into the finer stuff. So this is a double page spread, and it's for my comic called it's for my comic called The Last Pickup Artist. Where is it? It's up there. It's right here. There you can see it behind all the stuff, but I will show that in a different video. So in this double page spread, each of my three protagonists will get in issue 3 a flashback to his childhood and to its original wound and trauma. And we have the protagonist, which is the young guy, played by myself or my younger self, then played by Jeff Allen. This one, his original wound is that his father was arrested when he was young. The police kicked in the door, arrested his father, and he went from an straight A honor student to pretty much a rebel without a cause. And we'll talk about this. And then there's Donald Trump, also in my comic. I might link up here to some other different pages. And this is not an SJW comic. It's just I took what I had and I made something out of it. But Donald Trump was kind of forced by his father to go on Sundays to the construction site and pick up loose nails, like construction stuff they could reuse. And they wanted to play like other children. But father was hell-bent on business. One side, that's a good thing, to be abundant, to take care of your children. But on the other hand, it seems he didn't care very much. And so we will see the split it creates in Donald Trump's personality, at least in my comic, not in reality. Like, this is fiction, okay? And yeah, let me show you the scenes before we go in. So then I will show you how I planned it out. I'm not happy with this because like this is like a pictured frame, and it should be like you can see somewhere there's like pictures in a vase and something like this, and some flowers, and then we see the straight honor student, but it looks like doesn't look as good. My layouts weren't as tight, and I was kind of hell-bent on getting this page out. And as you can see, I drew this first and then I drew this second, and I think it shows that this looks a bit better, like definitely a bit more sophisticated and planned out, because I did plan it out. And I did put in my pencils with this Faber-Castell, and it's 0.5. And you can see still, can you see it? Like I erased it, but here are the blue lines. As you can see, the head was much higher with a blue lead, and I will show you the tools I used a bit later on. But this one I drew in 2001, and then I just stopped because I don't know, I think it was financial issues, and I just stopped. And this page is kind of empty, and I will show you the other side. As you can see, this one I drew in summer of 2020, and it's not finished. This is the splash page for The Last Pickup Artist. I don't know, issue 4 or issue 5. I was planning just to do 4 issues, but I think I will do 5 issues. And issue 5, everything will come together and it will end in a big brawl. And the good side will probably win, but we'll take some casualties and it will all make sense. But as you can see, it's not finished. You can see here the blue layouts. And that's something that's always stopping me in my tracks as an artist. Like, okay, I want to improve. I want to do comics that might or that can sell. But to sell a comic, it needs a certain quality. It needs to be good. Like, people need to see it and say, okay, take my money. And as you can see here, up here, I was drawing another page with the Buick, and here we see the quality is getting better. I will come to this page a bit later, and also to the drawings beneath this one. But I'm just explaining, like, I'm always drawing something, and you need time, and you need time to draw, time to plan. You need the resources, but I'm now a bit older, 39, and so life responsibilities are sometimes to get the money. To get the money, you need a job or need to provide value, and that's totally okay. But I was just working commissions. And so my comic ambitions kind of fell behind, and other things took their priority. And the COVID years weren't as good as the previous years for artists and other people in general. Everything got expensive. And so yesterday, before we come to this page, I woke up and I probably had a come to Jesus moment or something like this. And I was watching a bunch of Quentin Tarantino movies the other days. And I was watching Django Unchained and How He's a Free Man and Inglourious Bastards and all of that stuff. And so I kind of woke up and I don't know, God, the universe, the sublime, whatever you want to call it, maybe gave me this. I don't know, maybe this is just a crazy plan. And I was writing it down. Okay, I wake up and I do in February, I finish up The Last Pickup Artist issue 3. In March, I come hell or high water, I try to finish up issue 4, and in April issue 5, and then The Last Pickup Artist is wrapped up. Because it's not, I was thinking originally to make it an ongoing series, but I think I work more like a Quentin Tarantino that does, for example, here, this is for my Commando Werewolf. And here I'm inspired by the game Bold Action, and this is like, yeah, I don't know what's beneath this. Yeah, it's I'm planning something with World War II and Panzers, but up here I'm planning something with vampire hunters and Buicks, and it's either in the 60s or early 90s. And as you can see, I have different projects, and here I'm penciling up a thing that I'm planning for a long time. It's called the End Times TCG. Check out YouTube for the End Times TCG. I have a German and an English channel, and so I'm planning a game. And some of you might be aware that I already did a game that I'm selling. It's called The Noir Werewolf. Check out the link up here. So as an artist, you have different lives, different life cycles, and I'm not just a guy that draws one berserk. I do card games, and I do comic stories like movies. I might call myself the Quentin Tarantino of comics, which is not yet earned, but that's what I see myself at. So for different people, maybe for you, there is a different destiny or a different style you need to cultivate. But for me, there is The Last Pickup Artist, and then will come Young Tuerto. This is something like Mad Max meets American Pie, and it's a bit about child soldiers, love, the wastelands, and issue 1 is already laid out. The whole issue is laid out. I just need to draw it and color it and print it and ship it and sell it. But I plan also an arc like issue 1, we get introduced to the character. Issue 2, at the end of issue 1, something horrible happens, and then he gets imprisoned by something. This is like a Mad Max story. Again, Mad Max meets American Pie. And then issue 3, and then issue 4, they go against the big bad. And then it's the end of Young Tuerto. I will do, you know what I mean? Like this series is then wrapped up. And probably I see my comic series as a movie. Like maybe I understand it. That's how it works for me. It might work differently from you, and then this movie is wrapped up. Rock'n'Roll Vampire Hunters, similar. Commando Werewolf, and then as you can see, I have different other stories. And the idea why I was now churning out this page yesterday was, okay, this is like I hit the gym 3 times a week, and things are starting to grow and look very good. And I'm kind of going. I always went to the gym. I was always very consistent, but sometimes my diet wasn't on point. Sometimes I was overtraining. Sometimes I was training wrong. Sometimes I wasn't eating right. I wasn't sleeping right. I had too much stress. You know what I mean. But now when I go to the gym, I have a push, pull, and a leg day. Pretty simple. I go there. I have my exercises. You get good at the exercises, and you start seeing things grow. And so I treat my comics the same. So yesterday I was kind of, no matter how this page turns out, you gotta do it. Or you know what I mean? Like, just you gotta start doing it and never stop doing it, or you gotta continue. And so I was looking here at the scene from what's the movie called? American Beauty. And kind of okay. Yesterday it was like just not really speed, but just getting the page finally done. As you can see, some pretty rough brushwork. The rough brushes I like Klaus Janson does them, or Frank Miller. That's like my school. You have maybe a different school. You maybe aspire to be Mark Silvestri or somebody else. But for me, as you can see here also in Rock'n'Roll Vampire Hunters, these very, very thick brush strokes work for me. I kind of like it. I like to work on paper. I love when the ink hits the paper. And so this is my style, and you got to find your style. I use the Staedtlers and the Microns somewhere there are. I use these Tombow pens, and I have also a video on that. Check it out up here. And then sometimes, like here, the nose of the lady or some other things, I use this white gel pen. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And big shout out to this big fat ruler. This is the one who does all the heavy lifting on the page. Take care of your tools. Keep everything clean. There's another tool I'm using back here, as you can see. And I got all of these tools originally from watching Ethan Van Sciver, Everything You Need. But I don't use Excalibur. Where is Excalibur? I can't find it. But it's oh, here it is. This one I bought too, but I never used. So I just don't draw with this one. Mine's this one is my Excalibur. So sure, you can go with what the pros say, but at the end of the day, you have to see what fits your needs. So mine Excalibur is this, and maybe you will try this one. Let me show you the layouts. As you can see, I would say take your time when you're doing pages, take your time when you're writing, when you're drawing, but when you plan something, make sure that there's also an action, something you need to do, something you need to execute. Otherwise, projects will just never be started and never be finished. So make it a practice to sit down and put ink on the paper. Again, this is not my best page. Doesn't look as good as it could, but I still enjoyed it. I felt yesterday an immense satisfaction. I cannot explain this. Like the universe approved, and the universe knew, okay, this kid is now on his right way and cannot be stopped, because come hell or high water, he will try to put out comics, to make them, to print them, trying to sell them, and then just keep going until he hits the point where he's so good he cannot be ignored. And that takes time. It also takes a bit of mentorship. This is not where I will try to sell you the course. I really don't. Maybe one day. But I think that in earlier times, people like at Marvel or DC, Frank Miller went to New York, and I think he met up with Neil Adams, and Neil Adams took him under his wing, or Greg Capullo lived, or somewhere near New York, and he went there, and John Romita Sr. took him under his wing. And you see, that goes a long way, but that's not anymore there. Like now, everybody's self-taught. Everybody has to try to get to the information. But I think maybe YouTube could be like an international, how do you say, place where comic artists, YouTube channels meet and help each other to develop. And it could be that way. So let me show you a few of my, as you can see, from 2020, and then from a month later. And so here I was thinking, okay, what are we seeing? We see first the home, then we see a couple of pictures, then we see his picture with his mom and dad. It's not been this way, so I changed it up a bit. Then we see this dinner scene, and as you can see, pretty much like the layouts. The rest, I found a freeze frame from American Beauty, and I kind of took the Kevin Spacey and the, what's her name, beautiful actress, and then I put in Jeff Allen, and I gave him a sister. I think he has a sister. And then this was a bitch, because like I was trying to find SWAT team. And here I got references for the SWAT team. As you can see, this is a SWAT team member with I think an MP5 or something like this, here with a shotgun. And I could just take the reference picture and put it on my paper. Here I was constructing some stuff. And here the kid, I constructed the kid. And then I looked up something, I think Sunspot, maybe, in Age of Apocalypse, and I was checking out how does it look when something burns. But for this guy who kicks down the door, I didn't find anything. And then I checked YouTube SWAT team kicking down the door, and I didn't find a video where they kick down the door, at least nothing with a perspective like this. I wanted to give him an assault rifle or an MP5, but I thought, okay, the guy who kicks in the door, does he have an MP5 or does he have nothing, or how does it work? I like to research stuff. I like to make it kind of right. And I decided I give him an assault rifle on the back. He's all blacked out. The light comes just from this side. He kicks in the door. The door is not very visible. It's pretty ugly. Like this is not drawn beautifully, but it has a certain energy. I like it. I had fun. The pistol is way too big, but it is what it is. I kind of like it. It's kind of goofy. It's kind of energetic. And then in the background, this crack. I wanted to do more, but as you can see, it's all very cramped, the space. And then I like it that it's nothing in the background, and here all the debris and police, go, and all of that stuff. So I was pretty heavy on the inks. and I had tons of fun. I mean, I had tons of fun drawing this, filling in the blacks, creating the scene. So making comics is tons of fun. It can be. It can also be very stressful, but yeah, it can also be very rewarding. So this will be found in The Last Pickup Artist issue 3. If you're interested in supporting me, check out the Patreon. I think the patrons will be the first one to get a comic or to be featured in the comic, like getting a cameo or cameo. You know what I mean? And as you can see here, some of my... here you can see, like, can you see this? Let's move this aside. Yeah, here, police, SWAT team, beautiful layouts, and yeah, here the Jeffy, a bit different, and sometimes it is different, and then here, like here, this is beautiful, and yeah. So let me read the page. I was a happy little straight A honor student, and then one night at awkward family dinner, someone passed the asparagus, please, and then crack, the cops kicked in the door. Police, go, go, go. And then police, go, 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 put your hands up, hands behind your head. And then this guy, Jeff's just dead. And I came to find out he was being accused of doing some pretty heinous things. And arrested my father. Well, you can see not the best. And then we see the father taking up the hands, putting down the spoon, putting the hands behind his head, and then dead. And then here it's also like from where do you read it? I would say you read it from this to this, but yeah, it's not really good. I had to go from this idyllic life to basically living hell. It felt like I was burning alive for a long time. And then like we snap out of the flashback, and that's then that. So let me show you before we wrap this up. I don't know when I will return to the rock and roll vampire hunters, but as you can see, I start things, I plan them out, I want to do them the right way, and then sometimes I'm in a rush and this is the best I can do, something like this, and sometimes it's good enough, but if you want to sell this and kind of make a living from it, it's not quite yet there, you know what I mean? For an indie it's okay, but for selling it and making a living, and yeah, I think that's maybe the struggle, but again, it's fun. Maybe you can carve out the time. Maybe you can create your leg day, your push-pull day, and you can show up and you can dedicate a couple of hours a week or a couple of days a week or 1 day a week to putting out a page, to plan that page, to make it, and to do a comic. Again, don't do the big saga at the beginning. Start small and then work your way up. And we see us, and I think I will not turn back and finish my comics and do what I've said I would do. And hopefully we will have very cool and fun comics this year, and see you.